Gemini Collective, welcome, welcome. I'm Nikki, your local vegan tarotist, and we are going to do a love reading for singles, right? This is new love, no third-party nonsense, none of that, okay? If you're into that, this is not going to be an enjoyable space for you. We vanilla here. So maybe that's something. So I'll read for the feminine, read for the masculine, and I will read for the mutual energy. Maybe we can get some confirmations, synchronicities, signs, physical traits, or like characteristics about your person that might be confirmation for you, circumstantial. I did this in the last reading too, circumstantial evidence, circumstantial circumstances, I don't know, information. I can't think of a word for that, and it's a very simple word, so we'll see what we can get for that. So that way you can kind of, and maybe that's where you're stuck right now, Gemini, is like, where and when am I going to meet this person? So maybe we'll get some information on that. We're reading for the feminine first, so that means that the feminine is likely leading this connection. That does not mean that the feminine is in their masculine energy, right? That just means that that this connection is a 5D connection versus a 3D connection, which is why you probably feel your person. You're probably dreaming about them. You're maybe getting a lot of signs and synchronicities around you that are, you know, your person's coming. You know this connection, the union is coming, but you're also like, where are they? It's like that meme where it shows somebody going, "Yay, I'm single," and then it's Steve Carell. So it's what is her name? Not Emily. I keep getting the name Emily. Maybe that is important to you. But what the hell is her name? She has the very smoky voice. She's in New Girl. Zooey Deschanel. Jeez Louise. January 17th. So maybe that is, and the only reason I know that is because I'm in love with Jim Carrey. So maybe Jim Carrey, maybe Zooey Deschanel, maybe the movie Yes Man is important here. There could be an age difference. The masculine could be quite like boo-hoo, you know, a little bit mopey, and this feminine is going to kind of come in and ignite that. So that's why I feel like the feminine's leading this connection, because she's guiding this connection. The feminine is guiding, because feminine energy guides in the 5D, masculine energy leads in the 3D. But it's Zooey Deschanel, and now I don't know where I was going with that, because now I'm stuck on Yes Man. Maybe you need to say yes to more things. Maybe this person, this masculine you're dealing with, feminines, wants you to say yes to things. Maybe you're the one that's in that hermity kind of mode, and the masculine will inspire you, but we'll see. Flip it how you flip it. Put the thing down, flip it, and reverse it. I was sure something flipped out. There's a little bit of reluctancy here, feminines. What's going on? Knight of Wands. Ooh, this is going to be very fast, hot, passionate. There's that inspiration, right? The Knight of Wands is very inspiring. Energy, and then we have the World. So there could be distance. Maybe somebody is moving. They could be flying. I don't know why I'm getting taking a train, because this looks sort of steampunk. And then the World here. Somebody could have blue hair, or like do a lot of different colored hair. Have like a very vibrant style. And then we have the Five of Pentacles, which is a lack mentality. That's that kind of feeling like, where's my person? Where are they? Oh, that's the meme. Zooey Deschanel is going, yay, I'm single. And then Steve Carell, and I don't know his sign, but maybe if you look it up, there could be a synchronicity for you there. Something with the throat chakra, which is this Mercury retrograde could have been very difficult if you are watching this during or around the shadow of that Mercury retrograde, because you are of Mercury, the throat chakra, right? You share that with Virgo, and then the throat chakra is ruled by Taurus. So those could be some of the signs that you're dealing with. This is like Naked and Afraid. Maybe you like that show. Maybe that person likes that show. Someone could be like a survivalist or like very outdoorsy. We have the Two of Cups and the Ace of Wands. So we have that Knight of Wands bringing in this new inspiring idea. Could be a child involved or some sort of idea that's, this kind of gives me like a single mother. You know, she's got 3 hands here, so she's multitasking. She's doing it all. And that could be that sense of 5 of Pentacles. Like, I need a partner. I'm ready for a partner. And then we have the Two of Cups to confirm that you have partnership coming in. And there's more blue here, and then she's holding on to her belly. So I feel like there's definitely a child involved, or there will be a child involved with this connection. This is going to be somebody that you can manage life with and manage emotionally with. So I get that this masculine is very patient, right? So maybe you're the wild one, feminines, and this masculine is kind of modest or, you know, vanilla, because I said that. So there could be a different dynamic there, but it's sort of like 50 Shades of Grey. You know, they come together and you got this, you know, crazy sadist. So we're hoping that's not the case, because let's be real, 50 Shades of Grey is bullshit. That's just not how sadism works. And then she's like, vanilla, your favorite flavor. So I feel like there's something kind of uplifting and sassy about this connection that's really invigorating to both of you. Because yeah, I feel like both of you have been in this 4 of Cups energy of like waiting for your ships to come in, waiting for this tower almost. So you might understand, I mean, if you are divine feminine and divine masculine, you're obviously going to understand how energy works, but maybe you do a lot of energy work. And so you understand, like, you can call in a tower because you're ready for change. You're ready for change. You are bored with your life. You need something different. And, you know, I was like putting my hair up and I had these wispy ass little hairs like flying all over the place. And I'm cutting my hair today. And so I was thinking, maybe yeah, with the different colors, like maybe you change your style a lot, or maybe you're just doing something different physically, about your appearance. You're updating your wardrobe. You could be shopping within your wardrobe. Because I do get this like resourceful energy out of you. So it's like you don't want to be, and that also gives me like a hyper independence, because you're like, I'll do it myself, you know, I'm not paying somebody else to do that. I'll fuck it up myself. Thank you very much. So we had the World at the bottom of the masculine side. We're going to read for the masculine now, and then we'll do the mutual energy. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay, because now that we're 8 minutes in, 8:09. So maybe Leo energy. We have the Hermit here. I was going to say, you could be seeing 9/11 a lot, but that is like, unfortunately, may they rest, that is the Tower energy. So you could be seeing 9/11 a lot, or be dealing with a Virgo. Ace of Swords with that Knight of Wands. Okay, so that's good, because the Knight of Wands masculines, if I were just reading for the feminines, I might say, I don't know if you can trust this energy. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius, you know, because they're usually, the Knight of Wands is very exciting and inspiring, and they spark a lot of interest, or it represents an idea within you, like a new, exciting, creative idea. So if there aren't children involved, maybe you don't want children. Maybe you don't want any more children, right? You could have children, depending on your age, you could have children that are like out of the house, or they, you know, you could have grandbabies, you know what I mean? It's depending on your age group. And, you know, a child just represents creation, right? So it's that holy trinity of the divine masculine, divine feminine, and the divine creation. So this could be some sort of idea that's hatching. Something with eggs, chickens, right? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Something there. Anyway, with this Knight of Swords, I feel like this would, if I read this just for the feminines, I would say this looks a lot better. This gives me some more Because the Knight of Wands could be somebody from the past too, just trying to come in for a quick thing, or someone who's just here for a good time, not a long time. But Swords is the truth. So this is somebody bringing a truth in, and it's good communication. So I feel like you're going to have a lot of good communication. And the Nine of Cups. So that is wish fulfillment. This person's going to be your whole world. Death, you could be dealing with a Scorpio. But that also is the Tower. So I'm getting a lot of Tower energy. So you or your person could share strong Scorpio placements. And then the King of Swords. So yeah, masculines. This is kind of how you're approaching the feminine, right? Because the feminine can guide the connection to come together, but the actual union has to be led by masculine energy, because it is coming from the 5D into the 3D. And that is the god of the 3D is the masculine, right? The sun, Leo energy. It is clarity. It's coming out of the moon, coming out of all the dreamy, romanticized stuff to like, all right, logistically, right? Somebody could have been down on funds or feel left out in the cold. And this masculine is the type of energy that is saying, come in from the cold. Come in from the cold, and I'll keep you warm with this Knight of Wands, maybe. That gives me this, like, what is it? Matthew McConaughey. He is also a Scorpio. I'm just, for whatever reason, getting, so maybe something about Christmas time, but it's the ghosts of Christmas past. It's the Scrooged thing, ghosts of girlfriends past, with Jennifer Garner. And so maybe there's something with Matt, Jennifer, those names, MJ, but those letters could be important to you, but it's like maybe a junior. Anyway, you know, it's like I just get this that storyline where it's like coming in from out of the cold and almost having glimpses. So I think that you have been dreaming very heavily and spending a lot of astral time with your person, because we have the Empress here, so that is divine feminine energy. This masculine, you see your feminine as being very much your person. And so the feminine has green hair, she's got blue hair, she's got long, like, ropey black dreadlocks, and then she's got light hair. So again, I feel like the feminine is very transitional, right? Could be same sex, could be something with trans, all right? There are a lot of letters in there, but you know, the letters, maybe you support LGBTQ, XYZ, I don't know how many more there are, but there's more Sagittarius energy here with Temperance. I just feel like that's the type of energy. It's like, it's so far beyond the physical. It's just, you are the same person. You know, you're seeing beyond all of that. So whether this is vanilla, whether this is hetero, whatever it is, it's more than any of that. Like, those identifiers don't really play that much of a role in this connection because it's beyond that. Let's see. Van Gogh. Maybe something about a van. Maybe you're an artist. And that could be a misconception too, is that if you have like a wild appearance or something, people might think, oh my gosh, this person's wild. They must be into a lot of weird, crazy shit. And you might be quite like basic. You're like, I'm just on my way to get a pumpkin spice latte. You know what I mean? Like, you're not really here for anything crazy. Maybe you've experienced that, or maybe it's just never been for you. But either way, I feel like that's just not it. 10 of Cups energy, and then we have the Tower here. A lot of Scorpionic energy. You and your person could share strong Scorpio placements, because I do see this like Page of Swords energy with this little tower, and they're looking at them, right? Which is also like Sanctuary, Hunchback of Notre Dame, and you know, and he's like a very square soldier, and he's got the light hair, and then she's got that wild hair, and she's dancing in the fire. So it gives the Queen of Wands with this Ace of Wands. Like, this always feels like an Empress, pre-Empress energy. With the beetle, a beetle could be very important. maybe a ladybug, because this is a red beetle, but this is a rhinoceros beetle. So maybe something with rhinos, horns. You could be hearing a horn, again with the train. You could live by trains or hear that. This person could show up and be honking the horn like, let's go. Hopefully if you're going out on a date, this person is not just like pulling up and honking the horn. Hopefully they come to the door and walk you. I do get this traditionalist energy, so you could be dealing, you could have a Taurus could be involved. We have the Empress, so that's Taurus and Libra. Let's see for the mutual energy for Gemini's connection. Damn, that tower came straight out with these two upside down. Death and the Magician. Holy shit, this is really powerful. This is a very powerful connection. Like I said, it's beyond the physical. And I think that you've been dealing with this person, You've been dealing with them for lifetimes. We have the Magician, which is the Divine Alchemist. Death, which is Scorpionic energy. Death and rebirth, the number 13. And then we have the Tower, which is Aries and, I almost said Taurus, but Aries and Scorpio. I've said it how many times? I don't know why. Yeah, something feels unconventional, but then quite conventional. So that could be the kind of opposing polarity energy between you two. Or, you know, you could be polarity signs, which would, again, be Sagittarius for you. So there's a lot of that. Labor in reverse. Yes, like it's time to stop working so hard at this. You could have had a lot of focus on like, where's my person? Where are they? Where are they? And you could have been back and forth. You or your person could deal with some sort of mood disorder. Because that is, I'm getting bipolar. So again, bi, so it could be bisexual or, and then bipolar, your polarity sign, right? There's something very almost contradictory about you two, but it just works because this is your person. All right, 4, harvest. 4 and harvest is like 4 in the tarot is waiting, right? 4 of swords, 4 of cups, 4 of pentacles. It's like waiting and holding on. But this is time to harvest, which gives me 4 of wands, right? Which is the 11-11. So you could be seeing 11s a lot. Again, 9, 11. There's something about the number 11. But that is the union, right? And then money. So there could have been worries about maybe I don't have enough to offer this person. Maybe I'm not financially stable enough or stable enough in my world, wherever I am. And with the world, again, that is like moving. Like you could be long distance and maybe you guys are going to be coming together and you've just been waiting for the money to come in so that you can make that move, literal move. If not, money is also health, wealth, and value, right? Like if somebody's here, they maybe don't feel good enough, right? With their long titties, they're like, I don't feel good enough. Yeah, I do get maybe like an insecurity there. There could be like a physical insecurity, or maybe just somebody there could have been that mental instability. There could have been, you know, with that glow up energy, or I'm changing my physical appearance. Maybe somebody was like getting in the gym, losing a little bit of weight, getting in shape, just getting healthy, because pentacles are health and wealth. So this is going to be a very healthy and healing connection. And I think that this person, you will make each other, you will hold space for each other and encourage each other to be your best version of yourself, right? Because again, it's not about the physical. It's not like, I don't care how you look, but are you happy? Are you healthy? This person there's like a great concern that I want you to feel safe. I want you to feel warm and loved and held. Be as flighty as the wind. And also I feel like any weird things like with like the kink energy, you might think that whatever you desire, whatever your needs are in that area of your life, you might have felt as a reflection of dealing with other, you know, actual experience with other people, that was too much or that was weird or whatever. I don't think that this person will be like, oh, you need to be held and rocked to sleep like a baby while I sing you lullabies. Sure, okay. Like, it's not going to be weird. Like, nothing you do is going to be weird or too much or whatever for this person. So there's a feeling of like the mantra, I am enough. Say it with me, Gemini. I am enough. For this person, I feel like you're more than enough, but not too much, right? Charged chilies and wily wheat. Yeah, I feel like you guys are going to be really kind of, there's like a sassiness here with that Queen of Wands, wily, charged chilies. That's hot, spicy. It's going to be very spicy. But again, I am getting this like vanilla dynamic, this very kind of like basic bitch dynamic. 2-2-1, and that could also be like maybe you had an insecurity like, I'm not going to be cool enough for that person. I'm not going to be wild enough for that person. That is also the movie Happy Thank You More Please. So maybe something with like mentorship, big brothers, big sisters. Maybe you have a big brother or big sister or something that like you're talking to about this connection and confiding in. But there's a side love story in that main love story, and it's not so much a love story as it is like, I mean, it is a love story, but it's not romantic love. It's between a man who like takes in a child that's on the street, which is like illegal and it's a whole thing, but as it probably should be, right? I don't think we need just like grown men taking in children on the street. But no, maybe you have like maybe one of you is in foster care or like had some sort of mentor, again, like that big brother, big sister, somebody that you could look to that sort of was like your comrade, and your maybe something with the military, but like that was like your person that you went through your crazy childhood with. Well, this person's the person that you can go through your crazy adulthood with. Maybe you've lost somebody with death here. You could have lost somebody that was a mentor, and maybe you've been feeling quite isolated and alone and left out in the cold. Like I'm all alone in this world. Well, this person does not think that you should be alone anymore. They're like, no, they don't, you're not alone. You are not alone. Michael Jackson, there's that MJ again. And he is a Virgo, was a Virgo, is a Virgo on an island somewhere, probably a very perfect island. But anyway, charged chilies. Oh, where was I going? Oh, Happy Thank You More Please. That side story, which I love, it's my favorite part about the whole movie. It's actually where the title comes from. But anyway, it's like this nerdy, just nerdy guy. And he also plays in one of my favorite films, Stranger Than Fiction. So one of you or both of you could be into writing, reading quite a bit, very intellectual with that King of Swords and the Ace of Swords energy. I get that you will be quite sapiosexual and mentally stimulating to each other. But he's like this square, just basic guy, and she has alopecia, and so she wears like all these head wraps and earrings, and again, with all the hair changes, maybe you have shaved your head, right? Because when these wispy hairs come out, I'm like, I just want to shave it again. But then I'm like, okay, just calm down, Nikki. This person's going to be very calming to you, and that's how you're going to know that this is my person, is that you feel like you could literally tell them anything, and they would not judge you, they would hold you, they would cradle you. And that makes me feel very good for you, and a little bit emotional there. So you might get a little bit emotional about that. So first you have to make sure that you believe that you deserve that, right? People don't pull us out of the Five of Pentacles. We have to pull ourselves out of that. Someone can tell you you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're amazing, or whatever, and you're like, it almost feels like a threat, right? To children of chaos. So there's this contrast, like he is enamored with her, he loves her, and she's like, why are you down here? This is not where you work. Maybe you work together. But it's like, why are you even down here? This is not where your office is. And he's like obsessed with her, and he takes pictures of her, and that might seem a little bit creepy or whatever to some people, but again, like, you're gonna be able to be your most crazy, creepy, wild, strange self with this person, and they're not going to judge you for it, because it's all about the intention. Like, you can just feel that there's a pure intention here. Be as flighty as the wind. There it is. You can be as flighty as the wind. You can be, and maybe you're someone who's, other people have been like, you're wishy-washy, you're flaky, you're this, you're that. That is very much Libra energy. It's like, la, 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 I'm doing whatever I want. People may have called you an airhead. People may have called you a lot of things, and we don't need to get into that, because fuck them, right? Yoga, yoga for the heart is, provides a much needed jolt. Keep away from water during use. Keep away from water during use. I feel like there might be a little bit of temperamental energy here, right? I am watching This Is 40, you know, so it's like, oh no, I don't want to have sex tonight or whatever. That sounds awful, you know. Like, with the mood, especially with bipolar disorder, it's, you know, other people may have been like, oh, you're so predictable or whatever. Like, you're too moody or whatever. You're too something. And this person's like, you're too perfect. Provides a much needed jolt, and that's back to the beginning with the Knight of Wands, that very charged, exciting energy. There's something so grounding and peaceful and calming, and yet like, yee. And that could be, again, the contrast between both of you, but I am picking up on a lot of that energy. So we're going to pull a color and then a number and see if that gives you any sort of confirmation. We have 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 4, and 2. Pink. This is the upper heart chakra. You might listen to pink noise, or maybe that's something that you should do. And that will kind of maybe access something. And the pink on here is 3 and 2. You might be 32, 23, right? 2, 3, 2, 3. Ooh, when you put them together like that, 2, 3, 2, 3. So yeah, there's like, you're seeing series of numbers. I feel like you're already kind of on to this is coming. There's something that you need to be like your own tower, possibly, to bring this in. Make a change, any change. Cut your bangs. Screw it, it's just hair. And then we have 5. Yeah, you need to come out of that 5 energy. And what do we do in simple math when we have a 5? We rounded up 10. 10 is bringing an ending to things, but it's also within itself a new beginning, which is that scorpionic energy again. Even though Scorpio, or death, the death card is 13, that death and rebirth. To change something, you have to end something else. So there's like this, and of course, if y'all have been following me, you know I always condone shaving your head. But you're just like getting rid of things, moving. There's a big change in your life, but and with the tower, it's typically unexpected. But with death, this is that Plutonian. I already know that, like, you can't tell me that the tower's coming. I told the tower to come in. So there's very, very powerful energy here of energy work, of someone who is like an elementalist, which the magician here, it's like you are in your, and with that little like hitch in my giddy up on my throat chakra in the beginning, yeah, maybe there was something you needed to say and that changed a lot. You could be dealing with a Pisces or have strong Pisces placements, because that was a big thing for Pisces, that Piscean energy. But that's the third eye. Excuse me. And all right, I just cleaned up, so that's Virgo energy. Maybe you're kind of a neat freak. Yeah, I think that you guys are gonna look so maybe odd on the outside, but I love it. I love that you guys are like breaking the mold with this love, because it's so spectacular and it's really cool. And but it also caters to all of the like very basic needs, right? You're not too complicated. Your needs are not too much. You know, that's, I don't know, whatever that was, and maybe that's the 10 that you need around your feeling of 5 up to is like, goodbye. Maybe that's all you need to say. Like, we're done here. This is not it. The end, right? So, okay. Hopefully there was something in here for you, Gemini, and until next time, I wish you well.